The wait is over. Rays top prospect Carson Williams is getting the call to the show.
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into the Locked On Rays podcast. Locked On Rays is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And we are Kevin and Ulises.
And we are lifelong Rays fans who have been podcasting about the Tampa Bay Rays since 2019. And on the third mic for this fun Friday episode is WTSP's sports director, Evan Closky.
And on today's show, we will have baseball trivia and Name That War. In a few minutes, we'll also hand the mic to Mr. Closky for his 60-second takes called Closky on the Clock, including discussing Hassan Kim's latest injury. But to kick things off, we're diving into why these final 35 games are the perfect chance for Rays rookies like Carson Williams to take center stage.
But before we get to that, I got to tell you that this episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament in the USA. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. It ends October 31st, 2025.
All right. Carson Williams, Rays top prospect, has gotten the call to the show. I don't know if we can call it surprising based on all the injuries that have come down the pike between Taylor Walls and Hassan Kim. And then, of course, Jose Caballero was traded to the Yankees at the deadline. So you got to have a shortstop in there somewhere. And Carson Williams was the man who got elevated. And for what it's worth, the 22-year-old, he's hit a lot of home runs. He's stolen a lot of bases. He gets on base at a good clip. We know about the elite level defense as well. The one major bugaboo, in my opinion, and others' opinions about Carson Williams is those pesky strikeouts. He has struck out 154 times this year at AAA, equating to a 34% strikeout rate. Evan, what did you make of the news of Carson Williams getting the call earlier today?
I mean, they had to. They didn't really have an option, right? I guess they could have put like Coco Montes back on the roster, but no,
what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. So look, Kim's on the IL, minimum stint, probably. We'll see. Who knows? And in doing so, you can at least give Carson Williams a taste. Now, if Kim comes off the IL, there's no guarantees that Williams isn't going to be shipped right back down to Durham. We'll see. He might have like 9 games, 8 games to prove himself that, hey, I deserve to hang here a little bit more. But, you're paying Hassan Kim a good chunk of change. If he's healthy, he's going to play. And you have Brandon Lowe, and you have, Seymour over there first, and you have Yandy. And if Carson's going to be on this team, he's got to play short. So if he's not going to play short, you'd rather him go down to Durham and keep playing some games. So we'll see how long he's up. But, it'll be nice to give him a little taste.
Yeah, I guess the point is, if and when Hassan Kim comes back, what's the harm in just keeping Carson Williams up and shifting over Kim to second and giving Brandon Lowe an off day every now and again? And then I guess we just learned that Yandy Diaz has gone down for the count, so that might even allow Carson
the game,
Williams to
but
up a little bit longer.
He might need a break tomorrow. They might do that thing where they give him off tomorrow. They have an off day Saturday.
That's weird.
And then maybe he's ready to go on Sunday, but he didn't leave the game, at least yet, as of this taping.
I know that we all are on the same page that this season they're not going anywhere. So my argument is with Hassan Kim and Walls on the IL, when they return, okay, but Carson Williams can be the starting shortstop for 35 games. Like, what's the actual harm in getting him a month of big league time? I know that a lot of people are going to say, well, we don't want to ruin his rookie eligibility. You can work around that, people.
You won't ruin his rookie eligibility. He came up after the date, and he's not going to hit 130 at bats. It has nothing to do with Carson Williams, the guy. You're paying Hassan Kim a good chunk of change.
But he's hurt.
What you said was if he comes back. If he's hurt, he's not going to be playing.
But what I'm saying is, if he comes back, he should still be there, because you're not going to be replacing Ha-Seong Kim with only Walls at shortstop when the rosters expand. Like, you have more maneuverability there to not only have to put a guy who's gotten hurt all the time in Ha-Seong Kim, who, by the way, you're going to be paying $16 million next year, so you might as well take care of him in the next 35. And Walls, you know what he gives you already. Yeah, it's fantastic, but you know what he gives you. It's a known commodity. Isn't it better to give Carson Williams a long extended stay here for 35 games?
I think you're looking at it from a fan's perspective instead of being the man in the seat trying to make the decisions and talking with agents and having these discussions. You brought in Ha-Seong Kim to play this season. It's been a hellish year for him.
Oh, yeah.
Kim's not happy about it. But benching Kim when he's healthy is going to piss him off and set a terrible stage going into next year. You don't want to do that, and you don't want to advertise on false pretenses that, hey, we're going to play you here, we're going to give you opportunities, so on and so forth, to just play Carson Williams, the last 35 games while you're ready to go, or whatever it might be.
Didn't they already do that?
Taylor Walls, I don't really care about.
But
we know what Taylor Walls
do that
is.
when they brought in Kim, they were like, he's going to be our starting shortstop. And we saw that when Kim and Walls were both there, it started like, here's Walls, here's second base. I think Walls played like 2 or 3 games. But when Kim and Walls were healthy, they moved Kim to second base. So they were already went against what they said, Evan.
No, but he's playing. And the fact is, are you pumping Brandon Lowe out of the lineup now more?
No. I'm saying like that actually happened in July and August.
No. I know, but my point is, moving forward, you're going to have to, if you bring Kim and you move him to second so you can play Carson as short, where's Brandon Lowe?
Well, this is the thing.
DH him, play him some first.
DH him,
maybe you just bring
where's
Carson
Yandy?
Williams off the bench.
Get him, Yandy and Bilal, those 2 guys. I need them healthy. I do not need them injured. They're going nowhere. This is my point.
But
they're going nowhere.
They sign up for 162. You don't say, hey, by the way, take the this is their livelihood. This is what they want to do.
But what about in the middle of the season when they were like, oh, no, too many, 3 games in a row, we got to bench you. This team is going nowhere.
I'm not saying that they got to play every day. You can give them breathers, of course. But what's the point of having Carson Williams sit on your bench and play 2 to 3 games? He should be playing every day. He needs to play every day.
And that's my point. He should be playing every day. He should be playing every day.
Ulises wants Carson Williams over.
So you want let me get this straight. Yeah. Okay. So this is the situation you want. You want Carson Williams starting every day, and then you want a rotation of Yandy, Bilal, Kim, and one of them is just going to have off.
Except I am thinking, because of Kim's injuries, I'm actually kind of, I don't think he's going to come back on a 10-day. He's ready to go, guys. We haven't had that at all from Kim this season. So I'm not going to bet that it's just going to be a minimum stay and he's ready to go. I don't think that's going to be the case.
There's certainly no rush. I mean, for the Rays, I don't know why they would, if Kim's healthy, Kim's healthy. But, the thing is, it could be the last time he had the back flare up, right? It was a minimum stay. This time they were just more proactive. Like we literally do not have any time to wait. If you cannot play today, we're calling up Carson. We're putting you on the IL because we can't give you 4 days and play Tristan Gray at shortstop for 4 straight days. No. Right. So that's the situation that they're. It's just a little look. I get it. I understand it. I support Carson Williams getting some time. And I think when you get to the last week of the season and all this stuff, then you bring him back up or, Durham season ends. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, all those things. And then you tinker around, you get him a little bit more time. Let's see how he does for this stretch and then come to some more decisions. Yeah. But if he comes up for 8 games and he strikes out 20 times and has 2 hits, you might say, look, just go back down to Durham. Yeah. You got a taste of it. You understand what it looks like. Get back down there, and we'll bring you back up at some point in September. Somebody else could go down. Who knows what's going to happen? But
the Junior Caminero and Jonathan Aranda approach. Just you get your taste, send you down.
Junior Caminero had and that season was at a necessity too. They were going to make the playoffs that year, and they were like, screw it, we're just bringing up our guy because it's the best option we have. And he got 34 at-bats that season. But because they were making the playoffs, it was more beneficial for him to ride the bench versus go back down to the minors. They needed him just in case. In this situation, it's like, why am I screwing with his development, or why am I not playing him every day to just sit here on the bench and do a bunch of nothing? So
I think at the end of the day, it is a good scenario for him to see what the major league game is compared to AAA. You get adjusted to the speed, the competition, how the pitches break, and I know what I need to work on. I know what I can focus on. And I know there's a lot of concern about the strikeout rate, but you can't question the power. You can't question the defense. And I know the average and the strikeouts are a little bit concerning, but he gets on base at a really good clip.
Can I just say this one thing here very quickly?
Yeah.
You want him to start every game the rest of the season. You change your mind.
I don't know where if you're all out there just Googling average and saying, oh, it's Taylor Walls 2.0, stop. Ask questions to people who have watched him, people who understand him. Yes, he's going to strike out. Yes, he's not going to hit for a great average. That's literally where the conversation ends. And also, he has a Gold Glove caliber. He's a Gold Glove caliber at shortstop. Yeah. That's where the conversation ends with Taylor Walls. Everything else, Carson is significantly better at. I mean, I guess Taylor Walls draws walks at a better clip because he has to.
So, I mean, if we're being honest, Carson Williams, if you're able to replicate what he did at AAA to the major league level, you take that every single day.
20 to 25 homers, 20 to 25 stolen bags, Gold Glove caliber shortstop.
Premium position. It's not.
He's gonna have. Yeah, I mean, the toughest position up the middle. He's gonna walk 10% of the time. People just want everybody to, look.
Everybody has to be a 5-star player now.
Everybody has to have an 850 OPS or they're crap.
Yeah. And the thing is, when, give Carson Williams some time to grow, it's probably not going to be pretty to start.
No.
Let him develop. And I think once he kind of hits his stride, he's still very young, but the power that he has at the age he has, I don't even think he's filled out yet. Have you seen Carson Williams?
He looks pretty thin-ish.
Get this guy, who knows what's going to happen as he grows into that role? Yeah. And
don't get him too big. He'll have to move to third.
I don't know. Pete Crow Armstrong.
He can be A-Rod.
Pete Crow Armstrong last year looked lost all season long at the plate, and then this year, an all-star. It all clicked. You just don't know. You just don't know.
Can anybody tell me how many games that Ha-Seong Kim has played this year?
I would say
15.
He has played 24 games. There is a possibility that I'm just saying there is a possibility that Carson Williams could play more games with the Rays this year than Ha-Seong Kim.
That's why I'm not trusting that it's going to be minimal. And that's where my theory is. If it's not minimal, get Carson 35. Okay, not 35, but maybe 25 out of 35, 28 out of 35. Just give him
some opportunity. Taste. Hey, be a pinch hitter, be a defensive replacement.
Just be a guy. Yeah, just give him an
soak up. Be on the bench and soak up the experience of Brandon Lowe and so many others.
This team is going nowhere. This team is going nowhere. Keep Brandon Lowe healthy. Keep Yandy Diaz healthy, and let the rookies there.
Speaking of health,
we got to tell you that with injuries piling up and a hefty salary attached, we're talking about Ha-Seong Kim, people, and the idea of the Rays trading him might be probable than it ever was before. It's that time, people. You got to fuel up and turn it up with 5-hour energy transfusion. Grape, ginger, and lime-flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course. That's basically every night. That's what Kevin dreams about, that taste of that golf course. Yes, he does. And whether you're out on the course or just need a little extra push for yourself to get through watching Rays baseball, well, guess what? 5-hour energy transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor that you love. So today, you have got to try this. So you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the U.S. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Exclusive Masters Tournament. It ends October 31st, 2025. Again, visit 5hewin.com. And we're back. Thank you so much for listening to Locked On Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Kevin, you know what time it is, right?
Yes, I always know what time it is, and that is Closky on the clock.
It's time for Closky on the clock.
Jazz
What the
hands,
heck,
everybody.
Kevin?
Jazz hands.
There
I
you
got
go.
the jazz hands.
I can't even yell at him. Last week I screwed that up too. So.
Yeah.
No,
That's
yes,
what
I got it figured out. I do want to touch on Ha-Seong Kim for Closky on the clock to kick things off here. Player option for 2026, $16 million. And we've seen what he has or hasn't done this year. Under the assumption that he executes his player option, he cashes in on that $16 million. Do the Rays, Evan, turn around and say, all right, nice knowing you. We are trading you in the offseason. So, in other words, does Ha-Seong Kim not really play for the Rays in 2026?
Sure, it's very possible. The Rays typically don't like to do business where they sell 50 cents on the dollar. And my guess would be what you would want to do, because I think that Ha-Seong Kim's a great player, is you carry him on the roster next year. Maybe Carson Williams is not on the opening day roster. Maybe he starts in Durham. And if he's catching fire, so be it. Hopefully Ha-Seong Kim can recoup some value. And then you can flip him midseason, May. I don't know. They did that with Willy Adames to make room for Taylor Walls. I don't know. There's a lot of options you can do with Ha-Seong Kim. And you got to also balance, are you trading Brandon Lowe? Are you trading Yandy Diaz? Like, there's a whole ripple effect here. So will he be traded? I don't know. Could he be traded? Absolutely. Could he stay next year? Absolutely. That's why this is such a big offseason for Erik Neander, because there are a litany of paths to go down. And without really understanding what teams are willing to give, it's tough to tell you what they're willing to go. But I think a lot is on the table this offseason. Yeah. You know, Suns getting rid of Junior Caminero, you know?
Well, plus a new ownership group too, right?
New ownership.
Yeah.
Erik Neander has a big one. Now the new ownership can be like, hey, no, we got so much money, or saying, hey, not yet. But
hey, I was watching the 24 games of Ha-Seong Kim. I'm not paying him
16 mil. You get him the hell out of here. Yeah.
He's getting paid $500,000 a game.
We'll see. We'll see. My question, we talked about this this week with Shane Baz, just continued to struggle. He came back from Tommy John, had a little bit of a taste last year. This is his first full season. Is it time to maybe not damage his confidence by getting him out there every 5 days and getting shellacked every time? Can it be possible, because the guy has a 9+ ERA since June 27th? Is it possible to send him down to AAA when the season ends? The season there ends in September 21st. Is that a viable thing to demote him to AAA, or is it better to just shut him down and work on things rather than keep doing the same thing all over again?
I don't envision sending him down. I think that in the end, he's working. I think you're going to shut him down at some point anyway here soon, given his injury history. What's the point? Look, I think Shane Baz, his underlying numbers are better than the production he's had this year. It's been a really rough stretch recently. You even think back to that game in Anaheim where he looked amazing and just decided to have a handful of bad mistakes that just screwed up the whole outing. Mm-hmm. But I think going to Tropicana Field is going to help him a lot, but he has to find the slider again. And they ditched it so early in the season because it was a terrible pitch. They mixed in the cutter. The cutter helped replace it for a short term, and now teams are smashing that. He doesn't have a third pitch. So if they can find a third pitch for him, because his fastball and knuckle curve are so good, he's a starter and a legit 4 or 5 in your rotation. But if they can't get the third pitch for Shane, maybe you're looking at your future closer, because that's the line here, because he's got 2 awesome pitches and he's got to find the third. He had it. He lost it this year, and he's been fighting it ever since. So, but yeah, look at the home road splits. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's so I do think that, like, part of it is, I mean, and like some of these guys, we all expected the pitching to take a step back this year a little bit because of playing in Steinbrenner. And, outside of Drew, who was a ground ball pitcher, that's what kind of happens, because a lot of, Pepio, Shane, like a lot of these guys, they're fly ball pitchers. And that's a problem in Steinbrenner. And you can't fix that in 1 year, and you can't change your whole team because of this situation. So it's, there's a lot of stuff where you got to give grace for playing in Steinbrenner, and also ask yourself, are there deeper problems here? And the deeper problem is having that third pitch.
Fair
yeah,
enough.
I think that's kind of the idea with, if we're going to shut down Shane Baz, I don't know if we would say shut down Brandon Lowe, shut down Taylor Walsh, shut down Hassan Kim, but keep Carson Williams up to, give him some extra off days and weave them in and just keep them on the roster from there. So there it is. I think, Ulises, you want to take this next one?
Would you have one? Do you want mine or yours?
You can go with yours. That's fine.
Okay. If you have a special magic 8-ball, Evan, which I know you use every Friday for these episodes, I'm going to ask you a Kevin type question. Who has a better career? Carson Williams or Willy Adames?
Oh man. God, these questions are impossible, because Adames, we already know. Look, here's what I'll say.
Or can Carson Williams have the career than Willy
Carson
Adames?
Williams will hit better at the drop than Willy Adames. I can guarantee.
It can't be worse. I'll say this. I'll say Carson Williams only because Carson Williams is an elite defender. Willy Adames was not. Still is not. It's not pretty for Willy in the infield. He's one of the worst fielding shortstops in the league. So when you look at like WAR and all that stuff, Carson's probably not going to have the offensive seasons that Willy had at his peak. But when you consider what he can do offensively with, look at Taylor Walls' WAR number, you're going to, be wowed, because it's all defense. So like if you add on 2 points for WAR and then factor in some nice hitting stats that maybe add him like 1 to 1.5, that's 3.5, maybe to 4, maybe at his peak, he can have a great offensive season, get to 5. So I think long-term with that glove, it creates such a high floor for Carson. So don't look at it from a Willy's bats perspective. Look at it from an entire player's perspective. And it's me saying that Carson's fielding is probably going to surpass Willy's fielding, so much so that I think it could help him in the future.
Yeah, I really don't think it's that far off. If you look at the offensive numbers of Willy, I would more or less expect that for Carson, just maybe, again, like you said, not some of the peak seasons that he had where he's, knocking out 30-plus home runs, but I think 22 to 25 is well within the possibility. And, I mean, if you're getting a consistent 3.5 to 4 to 5 WAR player at the shortstop position, you take that every day plus Sunday. I mean, outside of – and we need that franchise shortstop because we lost one to inappropriate behavior. And I guess we sort of had one in Willy. Like, Willy was a budding guy. But before that, there was kind of a roster churn of shortstops. Like, each year was somebody
ever since Wander was gone, it's always been waiting for Carson to restabilize this team. And
waiting for Carson,
it's a lot of pressure because he's not going to be Wander. He certainly it's just so sad. He just doesn't have
nobody. He was.
I don't
Carson's
think Carson
a very
Williams
good prospect. Carson's
I don't think he's a future Hall of Fame type of talent here.
Right.
And that's what Wander was. So I'm sorry.
I don't know, boys. I think
everybody out there, and not every prospect can all be bound for the Hall of Fame like some of these other dudes. You know how you get that? You suck like a year, like they're happening right now. So in my opinion, they need to just focus on losing and just having these kids learn, because it's been a long. Is it
Get on my boat. Get on my boat, Closky.
Brendan McKay is the last time that this team has had like a top 5 pick, and very unfortunate. But the ceiling of what McKay was with this, two-way player, it's just, you think about some of the prospects coming next year. There's some really, really good shortstops, some guys that are very much in line with what the Rays like. So I just think that's the focus right now.
Evan, that was good stuff there. Closky on the clock. I will say this again. Yeah, if we're just going to tank, let's play the young kids. Put the young dudes out.
Yes.
And let them do what they can do and struggle through it. All right. We will wrap things up on this Fun Friday episode. The greatest shortstops in baseball history. Greatest defensive shortstops in baseball history, I should say. Let's find out who they are in baseball trivia coming up next.
Thank you for listening to Locked On Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. That's what you're hearing. You should know. Fun Friday, baseball trivia. And today, I believe Kevin has baseball trivia for us.
I do. We were talking about Carson Williams and defensive capabilities at the shortstop position. And in front of me, I have the defensive WAR leaders at the position in all of baseball history. In front of me, I have a top, technically 11 list. There are 11 different guys who have accumulated at least 28 defensive WAR from the shortstop position. I want you to give me 4 of those names.
Ozzie Smith.
Ozzie Smith, number 1 with 44.2.
Cal Ripken.
Cal Ripken, number 3 with 35.7.
Ulises, did Alex Rodriguez play long enough at short?
He played shortstop from 90 to.
I mean, he didn't shift over to third until he was with the Yankees, right?
Yeah, I would.
A-Rod.
Oh, A-Rod's your guess? No, that's incorrect.
No.
Strike one.
I want to go Venezuelan bump here with either Aparicio or Vizquel. Let's go Vizquel.
Vizquel is number 7 on the list with 29.5 defensive. Need one more name. You have Ozzie, Cal, and Vizquel.
This is a crazy. I don't want to. This is super stupid. But did Brandon Crawford play? Didn't he?
I would.
Brandon Crawford.
Strike 2.
I need to check his numbers.
Gosh, I really want to go Hall of Famer here, and Aparicio's a Hall of Famer.
What is Jeter? Did Jeter not?
No, past the diving Jeter. No, past the diving Jeter. No.
Those later years, he probably had some negative.
Yeah. See, you know what? I'm not factoring in the.
You got to factor in the downslope.
All right. You know what? I'm going for it. Luis Aparicio.
Luis Aparicio is number 5 on this list with 31.8. Nice. Very good. And Evan didn't believe you for a second.
He did it.
Name. All right, here is the list. Ozzie, number 1. Mark Bellinger, number 2. Ripken, 3. Joe Tinker, 4. Ulises hopped off. Man, we're having a lot of.
He got the question right, and he said, "Screw it, walk off." He did a walk off. Ulises did a walk off.
I had to. I was so happy.
Oh my God!
He's coming back.
Put your shades on. Block out the haters. Where was I? Joe Tinker, number 4. Aparicio, number 5. Rabbit Marinville, number 6.
Oh my God.
Skell, Bobby Wallace, 8. Bill Dahlin, 9. Art Fletcher, 10. And then number 11, who I thought one of you all would guess just for funsies, Andrelton Simmons.
Wow, we really got all the people that we could have gotten.
Yes.
There's a lot of those guys
Crawford.
that,
nobody's heard.
Only saw black and white TVs or Correct. No TVs. Cool.
Oh, Crawford was only 14.5 defensively speaking.
Huh. Well, he actually had way more of a press than that. For Name that war. Well, first, thank you, Kevin, for such a great question.
He fell off in the second half of his career. Okay, I'm done with that.
Of course he did. Name that war. It's a game where we take a player from the past and we try to guess their career war according to Baseball Reference, only using our baseball archive mind. And for today's Name That War, well, the Rays are playing the Redbirds, the Cardinals. So I went to the 2006 team and I saw a young man who wasn't really that young, Rays legend. What is Jason Isringhausen's career war according to Baseball Reference?
I love this Isringhausen. That was one of my guys growing up. I was a bit, as a Mets fan.
Yep.
He was like a hot prospect for them. Wow. Okay. So closer for almost all of his career, had a really strong peak there. But he was a closer.
The best closer is probably going to give you like 30 WAR.
I know, but his peak was what, maybe like 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. But he played a while. It's just, I'm gonna go with I'm just gonna go 18-8.
Okay. Isringhausen. I'm gonna guess he had about 250 career saves. Career ERA of 3.2. That's all I got on Isringhausen. I'm really drawing a blank. I will price is right, Evan Closky, and go 16 career WAR.
All right. Well, we've got Isringhausen lovers in the pod today. He pitched a lot of years, 16 years. He did accumulate 300 saves. He pitched 1,007 innings and 2/3. He had an ERA of 3.64. He had a season, boys, where he saved 47 and led the league in 2004 with the Cardinals. Yes, he came up with the Mets. He played with Oakland, played with the Redbirds. He played with the Tampa Bay Rays in 2009, then went back to the Mets in 2011 and finished it with Anaheim in 2012. His career WAR for this two-time All-Star is 13 on the dot.
Okay. I was closer. Evan, how can people find your amazing, wonderful, stupendous work with baseball season still ongoing and footy ball season?
Ulises is his favorite.
Yes.
10 Tampa Bay Plus. You can find the Ultimate Florida Sports Show. We talk all things Florida, obviously. You can find our sportscasts 6, 6:30, 11 on 10 Tampa Bay Plus. You can hit me up at eClosky WTSP, and I'll be fielding a lot of 2026 questions. Hit me up. Now we can go. We can play those games now. I'm ready. I'm on board for it.
All right. Sounds good. On that note, we hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we will talk to you next week.